dear audience, to another exciting episode filled with inspiration, knowledge, and entertainment. I'm joined again today by Ritesh, who has played a pivotal role in the expansion and success of numerous brands in the Middle East region. For viewers who joined us today, in the last episode, we primarily focused on omnichannel experience, which is still challenging for the brands. We also talked about the growth opportunities for the brand in this competitive era and measuring the ROIs. So today, we are going to delve into the sales growth, inventory management, and effective promotions of the retail industry. So, Ritesh, the first point that we are going to discuss today is driving online sales growth is always a top priority for e-commerce business, as you know. So, can you share some of the effective strategies for optimizing the in-store, off-store experiences, running different sort of digital marketing campaigns, and also at the same time leveraging social media platforms in the retail industry?
Yes, Anupa, I believe your question is pertaining e-commerce sites. Am I right
Yes,
in understanding the question?
yes, that's true.
Okay. Any campaign that you first initiate in any segment, whether it is a physical store or online, you set your objective right. What is your business purpose for that campaign? What you want to drive? You drive the basket size. You drive the number of orders, which is your number of bills, or you want to drive unit per transaction, which is a maximum number of units bought in a particular bill. What is your objective? uh, Once you decide, okay, my objective is number of bills. I want to increase my number of bills by 10x. Today I'm doing 10 orders. I want to increase to 100 orders. So it's possible. What are the strategies involved to achieve that particular objective? Are you look at your previous data and create a lookalike audience. People who have bought earlier from you, there is a higher chances that they will again purchase an order or place an order from you. So reuse retarget marketing. Use your lookalike customer audience from a mailing list or a data that you already have, and say you have X budget, and under X budget you want to reach out to say 1 million people or 1 million impressions or views that you would like to reach out to. You set up your performance marketing benchmarks and start the campaign. Then you make different ad sets, which ad set for which you create your whole in a CRM module. We create a buckets. One who buys once in a month, one who buys 3 times in a month, one who buys say every week, 4 or 5 times in a month. So you divide your customer base among that basket kind of an audience. We call it buckets, and say my ad set, this particular ad set is going to target the one who buys every 4 to 5 times every month, right? So you allocate a budget for each ad set for each bucket of your user, and then you run a campaign. You support that campaign online on social media. You support that campaign with content marketing. You support that campaign with different avenues available, and try to reach the number which you have set, that of 100 orders a day, from 10 orders to 100 orders, and then you decide you want to whether you're highly successful or not. That's how you evaluate your performance marketing. So that's one of the uh, idea that I would like to give. Based on the objective, your objective can change to a basket value. I want to increase the basket value. So today, if my basket value is only 2,000 rupees, so but I'm not breaking even in 2,000. I want to increase it to 4,000. What items can I add into that basket? What are the complementary products that get bought? The bread gets always bought either with butter or jam. Can I give offer on butter and jam and add those items in a bundle in that basket, so that I'm able to increase my unit per transaction, also the basket value? So that's how you build up your campaign, your product based on the objective. The critical and the most challenge part here is to set the right objective.
Right, right. So, yeah, that's truly said. So, the whole strategy is revolving around how you are setting up your objective, that too, against for each of the well defined customer segmentations at your place.
Exactly. I remember a quotation which my professor had told us in one of the classes, and his name is Professor Piyush Singh. He said, Ritesh, in a class when I was studying, he said, Ritesh, asking the right question will ensure that you get to the root cause of the problem or the issue. And now at that time I said, okay, just a quote. But now I realize how important were those words. If you ask the right question and go deep into the problem by asking the right question, you will arrive at the root cause of the problem. The root cause was maybe in setting the objective was wrong, why the campaign didn't deliver, or where we went wrong. You can only analyze and find out if you ask the right questions.
So that's a deep thought, which definitely practically it gives good results too.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. And as per your experience, Ritesh, I'm sure, I mean, you would agree that we cannot avoid the fact that managing inventory effectively is essential for any retail business. So, would you like to tell us about some best practices for optimizing the inventory levels, especially in this fast paced retail industry?
To be very honest, inventory is my first lesson in retail was inventory is an asset in your balance sheet. Inventory is an asset, correct? It comes on the asset side of the business of a P&L or balance sheet. So that was my first lesson. Now, if it's an asset, how can it become a liability? It can become a liability only if we go wrong either in our forecasting or in our product is not selling, in our slow selling product. And if that asset, the inventory goes above, your cash is stuck for a retailer. Your cash flow is stuck. And any business, as we say, cash flow is the lifeline of any business, is the oxygen. And what happens if you cut down the oxygen supply? Your nervous system fails, your body organ starts failing, and ultimately the human being dies. So inventory can become cancerous if it's not managed and timely action is taken. Now, what is the right kind of inventory to hold? Depends upon businesses to business models to business models. Uh, there's no one such answer, but the answer would be that if you use how you use advertising and marketing as a salt in cooking, if you put additional salt while making a dish, then the dish is spoiled. So you will use right amount of marketing mix in cooking a whole strategy, whole product offering. That's ensure the product will be successful. Same thing goes in the inventory management. If your say if your sale through is really high, then you keep and you look at your production cycle, whether how fast can you produce, and what is your supply chain, how efficient is your supply chain. So when it comes to inventory, it's not only one merchandise, it's multiple merchandises, your supply chain. Multiple merchandises comes from multiple factories, multiple vendors with multiple routes of transformation. Some is coming by sea, some is coming by air, some is coming by road. So how efficient is your supply chain? How efficient is your storing? And once, when I say storing, means warehousing. How efficient is your floor level merchandise? When the warehouse sends some goods to the store, how fast the store is able to put that merchandise on the floor and then stock also in the back storeroom, which is associated with the store, and whether how well managed the back store room of the store is. Are there goods stored only on the in the cartons, or is it visible to a salesman on the floor? If it's visible to the salesman, that he would or she would replenish it regularly and ensure that product is available in front of customers' eyes.
Yeah.
The best technology or the best simple thing is put your merchandise in front of the customer rather than in a cartons or in a warehouse. If the product is visible to the customer, higher probability that goods will sell more.
Right.
The problem comes if we don't forecast it or if we order it wrongly. We might say, sir, I'm getting this X. My buyers will come and say, sir, I'm getting this X product at very cheap price. The vendor is telling if I buy 2,000 pieces, and he will give me at say 10 cents or 20 cents kind of a thing. But my consumption is only 200, so I bought it for 2,000 because that's where I will make money. But without realizing, today I sell only 200 pieces of that particular item, and I have bought 2,000 pieces. So that means I have bought 10 months of inventory. My cash is blocked. What is more important, cash flow or blocking the cash? So
Okay.
when it comes to the inventory management, you require to have commercial acumen more, and creative component less.
Right. Okay.
We or our mind or our brain has left side and right side. Left side brain, right side brain. Right side is considered to be more creative. Left side is considered to be more number oriented. If I recalls correctly. So when it comes to inventory management, your number skills and a business acumen should take a driver's seat, and your creativity should go back.
Correct, correct. Yeah, that's true. And again, there is a technology which is again being adopted by many of the brands called smart shelves. I actually want to understand from you as well that because recently CIO of Panda Retail has made a statement as well as they have implemented this particular technology to their physical stores of the hypermarket. And he has made a statement saying that the good employee experience turns up to be a good customer experience. So I mean, having this technology is all about assisting the employees in their tedious task, as well as a brand can get a real time visibility of the inventory or the stocks across multiple channels. Again, when we say multiple channels, it could be their multiple physical stores, warehouses, online channel, anything it could be. So, do you think this kind of technologies has to be, adopted by brands furthermore, and it really works in giving a real time visibility of the stocks?
To answer that question, as one side does not fit all. In a case of which you have said, Hyperpanda makes sense because they must be having 24,000 articles
Yeah.
in their system, in their business on the floor. To manage 24 articles is a nightmare. You require a team of at least 100 people on the floor every night before the shop closes to replenish the shelf for next day morning operation. It's a nightmare. 200 people working overnight.
Yeah.
It's a very chaotic organized chaos, I would say, which everybody works like a symphony thing. But it's a people only see next day morning when I open up at 8 o'clock my store. Shelves are neat, pricing are perfect, uh, amazing. It doesn't happen that way automatically. Someone has worked overnight to make those shelves stock if there is any price change, or is that particular article going on promotion, putting the right price tags, right promotional signages. So someone has worked overnight to make the store looks good in the morning. Now here comes, as I said, technology is always an enabler. It cannot be the front end. uh, People who have tried front end making the technology as the hero, Amazon Go for example, making the shelves at checkouts, have now gone back to the basics. So have now gone back to the basics by keeping the manpower in their stores. So yes, technology this makes life easy. For example, if I have a shelf and that is supposed to put or hold 12 bottles of Coca-Cola in that particular row, and Coca-Cola I have given a four as a width, we have shelf as a width and density, which is the number of bottles that a particular shelf can hold. If that particular area is supposed to have 24, is supposed to hold 24 bottles of a Coca-Cola, then how technology is enabling it? Suppose end of the day, say around afternoon 4 o'clock, 12 bottles get sold and 12 are remaining on the shelf. Immediately the sensor attached to that shelf will send me a auto email to the store manager or a store warehouse manager. Hey guys, please replenish 12 more bottles in Coca-Cola shelf, like a pop-up message.
Right.
I need not run any Excel sheets. I need not run any V lookups. A pop-up comes. So pop-up comes which tells you what are the items to be replenished by 4 o'clock afternoon. My person in the evening shift for replenishment will carry 12 bottles, place it out. So that's where the technology is becoming an enabler. Earlier, what used to happen? 4 o'clock, we used to send a person out with a big format list of 24 articles and manually count. उसको count करते करते रात के 10 by the time he finishes the count of 24,000 articles, it used to be the closing shift for the store. Yeah. And then he used to start replenishing it whole night. So what happens now? During the day, the pop-up comes, the sheet comes, and it tells you which location, what items, and what quantity needs to be replenished. I need not carry my whole, pallet. I can carry some multiple items in a pallet and keep on storing in that particular aisle.
Okay.
So it has helped the front end to replenish fast. And when the replenishment happens faster, what does it translate to? A better service to the customer, because customer is able to pick up Coca-Cola, which was earlier out of the shelf, not available on the shelf or lesser quantity available. It benefits the brand to maintain the visibility, the well-stocked shelf.
Yes.
Translate to higher probability of pickup by the customer. So this is the perfect example I could quote at the moment.
Yeah, that's absolutely relevant, I guess. Okay, Ritesh. Now I would like to shift to another crucial aspect of retail industry, which is promotions. So, as you know, in Dubai, we see a lot of different promotions coming in a year across all the brands. But whenever I go through or walk in through the stores, I'm always curious to learn that how these brands make a balance between the value and the volume of the items, and also making sure that they, at the end, they have a profitable business.
A very good question, Anupa. In fact, your question is interlinked to the problem of the previous, which we discussed previously, called inventory management and wrong forecasting. Every year for a fashion business is divided into 4 seasons: spring, summer, autumn, winter. You place an order 6 months in advance because of the production lead times, depending upon, I'm talking about apparel. So in garments and clothes business, forecast 6 months, the lead time cycle. So your spring summer merchandise is on the floor, say by January. If you don't sell 35% or 40% of your stock in full margin by end of January, you put 25 to 30% off. In fact, immediately markdowns. And by the end of Feb or beginning of March, whatever merchandise is unsold, you immediately put on 50 to 75% discount. So
Okay.
by default, the entire because you have to make the space in the store available for summer collection that will be coming in by March end. So you should get rid of your inventory by third week of March. So the window to earn full margin is only 2 to 3 weeks.
Okay.
1st January to 21st January. And the problem lies now wherein people competition has increased. Your retail other brands are going on promotions. You have festivities in January called Dubai Shopping Festivals. Then you have Ramadan in Eid. Ramadan, then Eid in Dubai, then 2 times Eid is there, Hajj and Eid comes in, and then you have Dubai summer surprises, followed by your season starts from November onwards, wherein you have national days, where you have different, the whole year, the whole calendar has become like a shopping calendar.
So, Ritesh, so you very precisely explained the importance of forecasting the promotions based on the timing and the seasonability, basically. Thank you very much again. Now, having seen that AI-based models are increasingly being used as influencers, so what do you think? Like the customers will engage more with AI influencers or human influencers more?
Good question. To be very honest, it's too early to say what will be the end. But current trend shows that people are engaging with AI model or a virtual influencers more, rather than, because you can't make out the difference between the actual and the artificial. They look real. So it's and if I have to say it in a very different way, or answer it in a different way, people are tend to your fake news today is going so fast, the viral, that people tend to believe fake news as real news. So I don't know what will be the future hold for such technology, and how we will adapt to realizing or identifying what is fake and what is real. So that's a tough question to answer. Yes, but the technology has made virtual influencers look so realistic that you can't identify कि नहीं ये तो this is like a image, or this is virtual. You can't identify that. And the voice tonality, there are AI softwares nowadays that I can sing like Kishore Kumar. Yeah, and you will say, oh, if I remove my face, and you can't, identify whether real Kishore Kumar is singing or somebody else is singing.
For singing. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's already a lot of advancements happening nowadays, and I don't know like what is to be coming in the future, which is further going to make even more difficult for the customer. I see that like the authenticity is something which seems to be disappearing day by day, and it will be difficult for the brands to prove themselves to be authentic enough.
Very well said. I mean, the best part to bring authenticity is to be real. So when, like I said,
And Ritesh, again, recently in one of the seminars, a conversation was going about the cross promotions as well. This is, I think, a new technique coming in where it's about collaborating with the complementary businesses that allows you to tap into their customer base and also create a mutually beneficial promotional campaigns. So, as per your experience today or maybe in the near future, do you see the benefits of cross promotion in promotions come in this market or a promotion of particular status brands?
definitely, Anupa. In fact, collaborations, the brand collaboration is not a new concept. It's just been highlighted recently. It's been, I remember when Maggie in India was launched by Nestle, Maggie 2 minutes noodles. They used to do, collaboration with a sketch pen brand called Camel. If you remember the color pens
Yes,
of Camel
yes.
pencils and Camel thing that we all grew up at least I grew up with that old generation. So you buy 2 packets of Maggie and you used to get that the crayons of Camel free with it. So and as a kid we used to go and started consuming Maggie like anything. We used to force our parents buy 6 packets because then we will get 3 crayons for me and my sister and cousins and all. So collaboration was there since ages. So it's an old business concept wherein you acquire by complementing products and services, and try to get her to a new audience by increasing your existing sales, by increasing penetration, deeper penetration into the market, into new homes. So that's the collaboration was is required and is always beneficial. The change in the twist comes in around 4 5 years back. Amazon, though it was a completely e-commerce driven, and the customer, they had a big challenge of accepting customer returns. They found out that the customers, it's very inconvenient for the customers to return any item if they don't want it, or they have ordered it by mistake, or is there QC fault or whatever. They want to return the merchandise. So how they were in a fix. So ultimately, the people used to call Amazon call center, hey, come and pick up my return. I don't want it. So it was a reverse logistic cost that was huge, and in the process, the customer satisfaction was also getting depleted. Amazon went ahead and did a tie up with one of the departmental stores in US called Keys. It is sorry, Kohls, Kohals.
Okay.
So what they did, Kohls, they created a small desk of Amazon wherein people could go put up their written items, and that became like a drop center for any items to be written to Amazon. So Cole gave that space to Amazon complimentary. They didn't charge any fees to Amazon. Why? It was a great business idea by Kohl's, because by collaborating with Amazon, they got new customers into their stores. If I go to retailer merchandise at Amazon, there's a high probability I will say, oh, let me just also browse for something which is there in the store. I might pick up some fruits, I might pick up some other items within the store. So I created an additional footfall. I created additional sales by allowing a different segment who don't shop in physical store to enter a physical store just for return Amazon merchandise. So that's where you one has to evaluate any kind of a collaboration, whether what it is giving you. Is it giving you a new customer? Is it giving you a new market access? Is it giving you a deeper penetration to the market? How you are going to collaborate and what benefits you are bringing to the table. That's what a CEO or a business head needs to evaluate. My only request: don't go into Excel sheets of datas and datas and datas, because then that promotion will never see the daylight. You will only get stuck. I always use this particular quote that businesses are not run on Microsoft Excels. It's run by staying on the floor, by observing, by talking to your customers, by converting their insights into a business process. That's what is the the right kind of retail management.
Right, right. Of course, and this cross promotions is something, as you already explained, that it works more between the brands who has a similar target audience, and probably for those whose product offerings tend to be a kind of related products for the customers who are purchasing it, right? So definitely, it definitely makes a sense.
And people ultimately today are using collaborations, even if it's irrelevant categories. Famous restaurant in Dubai collaborated with Nike. They came up with the Nike shoes of that particular restaurant. I will not name that restaurant, but irrelevant. But see, that particular got millions of views. That particular videos and all that, it went viral. People started talking about restaurant. How many people ended up eating at the restaurant? I don't know. I don't have that figure. But it created a certain kind of a news. Any kind of publicity, whether good or bad, is the publicity.
Yeah. And at the end, it proves to be beneficial for the brands.
Exactly. I mean, your Bollywood movies use this technique very efficiently. Before any new movie comes on the floor into the theaters, there is some controversy created.
Right.
Or people tend to create some news element. Oh, उसने ऐसा किया, उसने ऐसा थप्पड़ मारा, something like that, and that becomes a big controversy. And
Yeah.
people go and watch the movie, and movie becomes a big hit.
Right, right. Okay, thank you. Thank you again, Ritesh. See, each episode with you is like a journey filled with discovery and lots of real time knowledge. I really appreciate that. And so, our valued listeners, see you again in the next episode. Till then, as Ritesh mentioned, rethink retail for whatever we have discussed so far. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for listening to me patiently. Thank you.